I have an anxiety disorder and I've always wondered, are ectopic beats dangerous? And do we need to worry about them? Well, I aim to answer that in this video by hooking myself up to an ECG, doing tons of exercise and exposure therapy, and making my heart skip as much as it can, so that we can go over the results and stop worrying about this one symptom once and for all. By the way, this is me from a bit in the future. I was just editing and I wanted to say that this video is quite raw and real, so if you want to just skip ahead to the results part, you can go to this timestamp. Otherwise, have fun. I've had it for a few years now, and yeah.
And you feel okay, or do you get symptoms?
It just makes me quite anxious. Makes me
Okay.
quite anxious about it. So.
Oh, because you know you have it, it makes you anxious, is that?
Yeah, well, because I feel them all the time.
Yeah.
And they make me quite. It gives me panic attacks, basically.
I know.
So, and when I do things like, I got more used to them like day to day,
Yeah.
but sometimes a day can be a lot worse, and then sometimes a day can be better.
Yeah.
But
That's the problem, isn't it?
yeah,
You feel like for a certain moment your heart is stopping or skipping.
Exactly, yeah.
You get worried that something might be happening.
So this video is for people who have ectopic beats, and specifically for people who have quite a lot of anxiety around those ectopic beats. So I'm going to be doing a 7-day ECG. I'm going to be pushing myself, getting my heart pumping, doing a lot of exercise to show myself that actually these ectopic beats are totally fine and totally normal, and they're okay to live with. They're not something that I need to get rid of. They're not something that needs to worry me. The idea is, we've all been told that ectopics are fine, but I'm doing this test to experientially show myself that, convince myself that yes, it's fine. Even when I push myself, I'll have ectopics, they will show up, but it will be okay. So I kind of thought I'd document this journey because I know so many of you out there experience ectopic beats and a lot of anxiety around them. I've talked about this loads of times before, so I think this will be a fun experiment that I can bring you all along with. So how this works is I am hooked up with these 3 different leads, and they are measuring basically the heart's electrical activity, and they are all hooked up to this device, which is measuring my heart. So I'm going to try and exercise, I'm going to do all this kind of stuff and get my heart pumping. And so everything that happens with my heart, any abnormal thing, will be picked up. So I'm going to be wearing this for 7 days. And what I can do is they've given me extra electrodes, so these little things here, and I can actually take those off after 2 days, have a shower, and then put it back on again, and then I have to kind of wait 2 days to shower again, just so we don't interrupt the readings that much. I do have a diary that I'm going to fill out saying, for example, okay, I went for a run and I had, a run of ectopics, so I'm going to mark the date and time and the symptoms and what I was doing at the time. But basically, that's it. This is what it looks like this time. Oh, see, I just had some ectopics there, so we're going to see that show up. It's not too annoying. You don't really notice it. It's fine. It's just, you can feel it, but you forget about it like anything else. And after 7 days, take it off, send it in, no problem. Hey guys, so I'm here at the park with Caesar. We're just going to do some training and some playing, and then after that I'm going to do some sprinting, which I don't usually do, to hopefully get my heart really pumping and get some of those extra palpitations that I usually get during and after exercise. So hopefully those will be picked up on the ECG, and I can show myself and everyone at home who deals with benign ectopics that it's okay to exercise and get a bit more of those ectopics going, and it doesn't mean that anything bad is going to happen. Okay, so I'm going to start running with Caesar. It's going to be really uncomfortable, but I know that even though I'm going to feel more ectopics while I run, or even afterwards, especially afterwards, usually after exercise when my heart starts to slow down, it gets a lot worse. I know that that's just a normal thing, and we're going to see it picked up on the heart monitor and get the results, and I'll have a discussion with the doctor about how that is. So, Caesar, you ready? 3, 2, 1, run! Okay. When I was younger, I used to be able to sprint really fast, but maybe not so much in these days. Right, let's try again. Okay, so go up, heart pump it. Already a bit, feeling the effects of this. Let's try again. Oh, good boy. Good boy. Caesar, come. Oh, you're fast. Ah! So now I'm definitely okay. I'm a bit fast. Oh god, I'm not used to this. I'm definitely getting out of breath. Oh, alright. My heart's going. Go, Caesar, come. Caesar, come. Okay, so now I'm struggling. I need to push myself. I'm trying hard. I've got 7 days to do this, but you know, it's the first time I'm doing this in a while. I'm getting a bit nervous, so I find it a bit hard to push myself a lot. But I'm gonna keep trying. I got my little mental health doggy here to help. Doing so good. Okay, some more running. So now, okay, get a lot of pain, you know, when you're out of breath and it hurts. Actually, my heart, because it's pumping so hard, I'm not noticing too many ectopics, but afterwards, they're gonna come like crazy. All right, I'll do a couple more. Oh, here they come. I even had a pain in that one. Okay, I'm gonna do one more sprint. Okay. Just felt like I couldn't breathe, but that's normal because I'm literally out of breath. Okay, me and Caesar are gonna do one more big sprint to that green thing. Palpitations are coming now. Oh, it hurts. All right, 3, 2, 1. Okay, he does follow. Come on. I know doing all those safety things. Stay upright. Stroke the dog. Good boy. You did so good. You did so good, Caesar. Yeah? All right. So the next part now. So I've done the exercise itself. What usually happens after I do some cardio, or you know, unexpectedly have to run, is that as my heart is beating faster and it begins to slow down again, there's way more skipped beats in that time as the heart rate is regulating itself. So whereas when I'm at rest, I might get like a few palpitations in some every 30 seconds, or in a few minutes I might have a few. But now I'm gonna have loads. So like already I'm having one boom, one boom, boom. So I'm getting way more. And now I'm just gonna try and, you know, get walking normally. You know, take Caesar, gonna take him home. And I'm just gonna try and, you know, I acknowledge they're there and they're bothersome, but reminder what the doctor said, they're not dangerous. That doesn't mean they're gonna harm me. It's normal. Obviously my heart's been, you know, really working, and now it's trying to basically regulate itself, and those extra beats are gonna happen, and it's not something I need to worry about. So if you get these ectopics when you're exercising, when you're, you know, in any type of exercise that, you know, even weightlifting, I know a lot of you get it when you're lifting weights and that exertion and you worry that, oh, I have ectopics while I'm lifting, you know, does that mean something's going to happen, or am I going to trigger something to happen? It doesn't mean that. But as with anything, this video is for people who know they have benign ectopics, so you've been told by your doctor that your ectopics are normal and you don't have any underlying conditions. So always, if you're worried, first thing to do is just, you know, ask your doctor. You can do a test like this, but I'm doing this for those people who've done it already. And a lot of us don't push ourselves when we have the monitor on. So I'm trying to really push my limits so that you know that you know it's okay for you to look at this. And yeah, having this dog Caesar has been the best thing for me. Like, I'm up every morning doing this. So if you're getting these ectopics, if you know you have benign ectopics, know that they're okay. You're just gonna make them your friends. It's just your heart. It's just how your heart is, and it's normal. There's not anything wrong with it. That is the normal state of your heart. When they do appear, just greet them like it's an old friend. Like, oh, okay, hey, how you doing today? Good to see you. And that's it. It's not something dangerous. It's not an enemy. You don't need to get rid of them. A lot of people are worrying, oh, how do you get rid of them? Is it beta blockers? Is it, you know, do I take loads of magnesium? Some people say magnesium helps to lower them. Some people say beta blockers help. Some people, I spoke to a cardiologist who told me beta blockers can make them worse. So the trick is, it's not the symptom itself. It's just our belief about it, our interpretation on it. And what I'm literally doing now is trying to show you that I can have as many of these ectopics, you know, as I want. We'll probably see how many I have in a week period when I get the results, and show you that, okay, even though I have them, it's totally fine. But yeah, follow along if you want to see more anxiety content like this. If you want to see how I'm training Caesar to be a psychiatric assistance dog and eventually a therapy dog, I'm literally training him to do deep pressure therapy when I have an extreme panic attack. But yeah, see you in the next part of the video. So I just went for a crazy run in the park, another one, and it's very windy and it's dark, and also altogether my anxiety is way through the roof. And after this run now, you know, it was just a pure panic run pretty much. I was pushing myself, massive exposure, and luckily I'm catching what I wanted to catch on the heart monitor, but I actually think I'm gonna die because my heart, so many palpitations, like really bad. Help me. Just every few beats is an ectopic. Help! Oh. Okay, just keep going. Okay. Oh, Caesar here. Okay, Caesar. Give me a cuddle from Caesar. Oh, it's dark, so you can't really see nothing, but you can hear what I'm saying, hopefully. And if you see my heart right now, it's crazy. I'm scared. Because my heart's now like... Okay, we finished running. There's just so many ectopics coming, I'm scared! And all the other panic symptoms. Right, it's cold, so I'm going kind of numb too. Okay, we're gonna try to ignore the ectopics and just breathe like normal. Doctor told me this all would happen. Doctor told me it would happen. I've been through it before. Doctor said it's fine. I'm just going home. Don't need to control them. They don't mean anything. It's just how my heart is. Stand up straight. I'll talk to you guys when I get home. Okay, everyone, so I've just been home. For a few minutes. I changed my clothes. I opened the window because it gets really hot in here. And yeah, I was at kind of a height of a panic at that point. I was already, anticipating doing this experiment before I went out. Got a pretty good run on, and one of the cords here came off at one point, and I hope that I noticed it right when it happened, because that would be really annoying if I missed most of the run. But even if I missed all of the run, it's usually actually after exercise when the ectopics are the worst and when they scare me the most. And probably if I included the video I filmed walking, if I'm not too embarrassed, then you'll see me fully panicking. So right now I'm pretty uncomfortable, but I feel better. My heart has settled a bit, but I'm still getting a lot more ectopics than normal. So I'm stuttering my speech. I think I have a stroke. But that always happens. What I'm gonna do now is, now obviously I'm doing a lot of safety behaviors, which, I always talk about is not good to do, but sometimes, it's hard not to do it. So when I do this again, I will do, I'll know that I'll have the confidence from having got through this one, even though I thought I was actually gonna die. And I will be able to manage things a bit better than resorting to some of the safety stuff. So already now, earlier I was feeling that pure fear, pure terror. Each heartbeat was like, which one is gonna end me? And now I'm starting to feel a bit more relieved. I'm still, it's up and down, so it goes down like, okay, I'm a bit relaxed, and then it goes up again. Just it's an eerie night as well. It's like windy, and I had it's like a severe wind warning, and it was very windy out there, and I was being pushed by the wind, and I, had this intense fear of don't go near the trees in case one falls down. So I was already just everything I was picking to be anxious about was there. And it just felt overwhelming. But I pushed through it. I stopped when I there were points when I wanted to stop and I didn't, so I kept going, so that was good. And once I felt, when I really felt like I really want to go, I went a little bit more, just to make sure that we capture all this, because the idea is that I'm wearing this heart monitor to show myself that even these extreme panicking, even when I do some heavy cardio, it doesn't mean that those ectopics are dangerous or going to kill me. It's fine. So I guess that's it. I just want to show the real experience, and this is the real experience of having agoraphobia and panic disorder, and doing exposure therapy, working through things you're afraid of, winning back confidence. I don't even know what's going to come next in the video. I think I have 2 more days with the monitor on. I've done kind of 2 big experiments, and I luckily had, the last few days I've had just quite bad ectopics throughout the day anyway. I'm sure I felt loads of couplets, and I'm sure I felt loads of just runs and big ones that I think oh, this one feels different. So I've got loads of those captured, I'm sure, so that's good. And otherwise, now I'm just gonna relax. I'm gonna chill, gonna have dinner, gonna sleep early. I think I'm going to the office tomorrow with Caesar. And yeah, so I don't know what the next part of the video is. Let's keep going. And please, if you're following along, if you made it this far in the video, go ahead and subscribe, like the video. I want these videos to get out there to show people what it's like, and just to show you that you can get through it. I was literally at a point where I couldn't leave my home, and doing this exercise was bringing me back to some of those panic attacks that I would have just sitting in the house, you know, and that was a sad time. That was a sad time. And I didn't think I would ever be at this point. I didn't think I would ever get from being not able to leave my house and calling ambulances every time I panicked to being able to do like these exposure experiences. And it's still annoying because it's like, why do I have to do this in the first place? Why did I become like that? But, you know, that is where I am at in life, and I'm happy that I'm able to do this and overcome it, and it's made me who I am, and I've been able to share things that pretty much like hundreds of thousands of people watch and tell me that it helps them. So, you know, I wouldn't change what I went through if I could. So I finally got my results back from the doctor. And my doctor was also kind enough to spend some time on the phone to talk through it with me and go through some of my concerns. So let's go straight into it. What I'll do is I'll put screenshots on the screen around the parts I'm talking about. There's a lot of kind of medical jargon, but if you've been through this situation before, you'll know what I'm talking about. And if not, then maybe we'll learn something. Okay, so it starts off with a summary. It says that the ECG finding does not require any immediate or urgent action. So that's a good sign. And that's notable because, as you can see, I had quite a few panic attacks, and I had quite a few times where I had such bad heart symptoms that I really felt like I was dying, and I really felt like, okay, they definitely picked up something on this. I felt times where my heart was fluttering, where it felt completely out of control, and there really were some things going on. But despite that, no immediate or urgent attention needed. So let's see. Good quality 5-day, 23-hour ECG, sinus rhythm throughout the recording. So sinus rhythm just means kind of like normal rhythm. So I think if you have something like SVT, that's not sinus rhythm, or maybe you have atrial fibrillation, then I don't think that's considered sinus rhythm. I'm probably going to take this part out because I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to go into this. I'm not a doctor, but I'd recommend checking out someone like Dr. Sanjay Gupta, who talks a lot about ectopics, and I've actually personally spoken to him before, so check out his channel as well. Normal PR and QR restoration, I'm not even going to attempt to go talk about that. 395 episodes of sinus tachycardia. So that's, you know, a racing heart, and that can be caused by anything from exercise, panic attacks, anything. Just when your heart is very fast and racing, that would be tachycardia. Sinus tachycardia, I guess, meaning kind of normal rhythm, fast heart rate. Any cardiologists out there, please feel free to step in the comments. I'm not giving any medical advice. I'm just saying what I've learned from what the doctors have told me. Longest 244 beats at 180 beats per minute, so typical stuff. 1%, 6,694 ventricular ectopics. So in that 5-day, 23 hours ECG, 1% of my total heartbeats were ventricular ectopics. I think that's what VE stands for here. So 1%, I mean, that's, to me, sounds about right. 6,000. I mean, I notice a lot of them in the day, and I'd say that, yeah, that sounds kind of right. I think it actually sounds a bit more than normal because I did so much exercise, so I definitely had some more. But what my doctor has told me is that we don't tend to worry until we get to around 10% of your heartbeats being ectopics. So let me know in the comments, how many do you get? Do you know your percentage? 5 triplets. Okay, so those are those moments where I'm sitting there, I'm eating something, and then suddenly I get like in my chest, and I think, oh my God, my heart's going to go into a really abnormal rhythm. I'm about to die any second. And I'll do a big cough. And usually I'll have a massive panic there. They're more rare, but those absolutely terrify me. So it's good to see here that I've had 5 triplets. And I remember the specific moments when I had these, and I got really freaked out, and I was so scared, but I was so glad that we caught it. So knowing now that, okay, I've had 5 triplets, and basically this is like, so you'll see on the graph, ectopic and then normal beat. Triplets are basically ectopic, 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 happening 3 in a row without a normal beat in between. So it's good to see that, hey, despite this, still, finding doesn't require any attention. 15 couplets. Okay, so that's similar to a triplet, but just double. So 2 things at once, and I felt those as well. Those are when I get like it's like just not as long as the other one, but it's still like a double palpitation, a double ectopic beat, and it's a horrible feeling. But yeah, so 15 of those, and apparently that's not a problem either. Great. 29 episodes of trigeminy. So that's when you have beat, ectopic, pause, beat, beat, ectopic, beat, beat, ectopic. Okay, so that's after every 2 normal beats, the 3rd one is an ectopic. And that happens for a run. So that's when you're like, you know, you've been walking, you're going there, and you're like, oh, boom, 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 boom. Sorry, that's the only way I can describe it. It's like, you know, I'm walking and I feel like boom, 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 and I'm like, oh God, something very sinister is happening. The ectopic is becoming regular, and that really terrifies me. But apparently, again, that apparently is normal. So that's really great news to see. So apparently the longest was 4 cycles. So that would be boom, boom, ectopic, boom, boom, ectopic, boom, boom, ectopic, boom, boom, ectopic. And even though that's quite short, that does not feel nice when you're so in tune with your heart, as people with anxiety often are. 3 episodes of bigeminy, so I believe that's boom ectopic, boom ectopic, boom ectopic, so normal beat ectopic, normal beat ectopic, and the longest 2 cycles at 3:12. So let's continue. My less than 1% of my beats were SVEs, and I think this is supraventricular ectopics, seen as 45 isolated beats, 6 couplets, 2 triplets. So I'm guessing that's just a type of variation on the ventricular ectopic. I'm not going to go into that. Please, any cardiologists, let me know in the comments what is the difference between an SVE and a VE. So when I say VE, I believe we're talking the same thing about PVCs, which is the other way that I've heard it referenced. This is a technical report and should be reviewed and put into clinical context by the referring clinician, and that's what's happened when I went on the phone call with my doctor. He kind of went through it with me. I'm not going to remember every technical detail, and I'm not a cardiologist and I don't claim to be, but the main thing that I want to showcase here is that despite having all of these scary medical terms, the fact that there really are abnormal heartbeats going on in my heart, I did all the exercise, I did all the experiments, and this test has come out as unremarkable. It's literally the words the doctor used was, the ECG was unremarkable. And they don't need to do anything else because everything that happened here is normal. One thing that I think we forget is that the heart is like an amazing thing, and you know, I don't know the reasons why it does this. It's something to do with maybe some adrenaline going on. Maybe it's maybe those ectopics are useful in some way. I don't know. But my doctor also told me that there's no evidence ectopics lead to anything else or cause any damage. You know, when you have above 10%, then it's worth looking into. But usually there's an underlying condition happening that also the ECG would have picked up, for example. So when you're told that things are okay, and when you get this evidence, that's the point when now we have to believe it. Now I have to say, okay, there's always going to be some uncertainty. Anything could happen anytime. But this is enough evidence for me to say, hey, I've been checked out. The doctor said it's okay. We've spoken through it. And now I'm going to continue living my life, and I'm going to keep pushing myself despite feeling all these uncomfortable feelings. And that's what I wanted to show with this video, that, you know, that I can push myself, I can have panic attacks, I can think I'm dying, and yet everything can still be okay. And I can learn from that and move forward. So you get about 100,000 heartbeats a day. And out of 589 total heartbeats on this ECG, 6,696 were ventricular ectopics, and 44 were supraventricular ectopics. It's really interesting. I really find this cardiology stuff so interesting, but I have no idea what it means. So any cardiologist, I'd love for you to react to this video, maybe do a response or go into it in a bit more detail so we can learn a bit more about this. But at the same time, us health anxiety people, we don't need to be doctors and we don't need to know so much about this. I just want to show you that it's okay to feel these things. If you are experiencing this and you haven't been checked out, always I do recommend go to the doctor, get checked out. If you get the all clear like I did here, get into therapy, get some help for that health anxiety that you have, for that cardiophobia. Because the risk is, once you do one test, you're going to want to do another test. You're going to think, oh, I missed something else. Don't go into this researching this too much. I've already been down that road and it hasn't helped. I wanted to do this to push myself further, to tell myself, okay, I'm going to do a lot of exercise and let's take advantage of this situation and show other people that, hey, if I can do it, then so can you. So yeah, so I didn't really plan out this video. I just wanted to read through the report together. Give me a like, subscribe if you enjoyed this video, if you found it useful, and I'll see you in the next one.